Hello everyone and welcome back to Vlogmas. Fuck, I didn't bring my list. I have absolutely no idea what day it is of Vlogmas because I'm pre-filming this and I haven't got my list and it took me so long to get this set up. I know it probably looks really shit, but I promise you it took me a long time to set up. So I'm not going back to look up what day it is, but you know what day it is, okay? Now that's what matters.
That's not roasting.
So for today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit weird. I'm going to be building my very first ever gingerbread house. I have never made a gingerbread house before, so this will probably end up being complete shit. I've got absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I believe this one is already baked. I don't think I have to make the actual gingerbread. I'm gonna lose my shit if I actually do. So we're gonna make this. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna be doing something fun and, you know, I feel like I need a little bit of a kick in the ego at the moment apparently, because I'm gonna read to you some of my old writing. Yeah, I have been writing for many years. The first one I've got here is the oldest piece of writing that I have. And I have a memory of writing this when I was quite young, maybe like 7 to 10 years old. The stuff towards the end is stuff that I did when I was at school, so it's a little bit better. Some of it is just stuff I wrote in my spare time. Some of it is stuff I've handwritten, so it's not edited, so it's absolute shit. A lot of this is going to be absolutely heinous, but it's going to be fun because I love taking the piss out of myself. I don't really know how I'm going to do this, considering I need my eyes for this, my eyes for that. So really these two things don't go well together at all. So I might start by getting everything out of the box because I may need to go get some stuff. So I have been writing again for a very long time. Probably the hobby I've been the most passionate about in my life. When I was passionate about writing, I was like very passionate about it. Like I would write all day. I'd write for like 8 hours a day straight. Like I was obsessed with writing. Like it was insane. Oh, okay. I'm a little bit terrified right now. Okay. Like, what is that? I don't know what that is. That's scaring me. But here is the stuff. I mostly wrote YA, sci-fi, and fantasy because most of my writing was done when I was a teenager. And I was very focused on the romance because it's me. Hello. And despite how much writing I have done, I think I've only ever completed one full-length novel, maybe two. I know for certain I've completed one and it was like 500, 600 pages of Word and the font was like size 12. And I'm really sad because I no longer have that full-length novel. It got lost because I lost a portable hard drive which had all my writing on it. So I'm really sad that I don't have that today. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared to get it out of this packaging because I don't want to like break one of these. Like, can you imagine? I mean, if you know me very well, you probably easily can imagine me doing something like that. Also, I feel like I'm doing this very dangerously, so do not mimic anything I do in this, children. Yeah, that's mainly what I wrote. I wasn't trying to be anyone fancy. I think I was pretty much just trying to be the next Stephanie Meyer. I wasn't trying to be anything amazing. I just wrote for fun because I have always been a creative person and I think that that shows in my channel, at least I hope so, that I like doing creative things. And writing is something that I really want to get back into. I actually was going to do NaNoWriMo this year, but I ended up doing Vlogmas instead. So I think maybe next year I won't do Vlogmas and I will do NaNoWriMo. Okay, so that just full broke. So that's awesome. And I was so careful, so I think it was just what happens when you buy cheap quality. So the first thing I'm going to read out is called Robo Kitty. And so this is the one that I wrote when I was very, very young. It's like a paragraph. It's got a picture of a robot cat on it, which is quite horrifying. And I cannot tell you anything about this other than that it's full of spelling errors because I was very little. And I kind of want to read it out like it's written. but I feel like you won't be able to understand it. And honestly, I'm going to be doing a lot of guessing. Let's go. Once upon a time, there was a cat. Incredible. You know, they talk about having amazing first sentences that grip people. That was astounding. One day, she had 4 babies, but one of them, oh God, I don't even know what that says. Fanned us hot. F-A-N-D space A space S-O-H-T. I actually have no idea what that's meant to say. So the cat had a gun. I haven't read this in years. Holy shit, what the hell? Millie? Who the fuck is Millie? Okay, Millie, have you done your homework? God, this is worse than I thought it was. Okay, I was definitely very young when I wrote this. Mumtha Shaw Todd to Millie. Oh, mother said to Millie. No. Like, no bitch. Will do it, Millie. Oh, well, do it, Millie. It is lock time. Lunchtime? Let's play chasing, said Molly. No, let's play racing, said Millie. Now, class, said their mumtha. Sorry. I feel like I should call mum mumtha now. Said, today we are going to do some handwriting. So get your handwriting books. We are going to write M, L, S, and Y. Now we are shet. Shet. Now yellow group are going to do book rock. But they chawed not to make not a cat. Now red grop are making a calendar. And Prel Pol Grop are a book. So today we are doing the work shit. Shit. God, this is bad. No shattered. Shattered. Instead it's shattered. No shattered, Robo. You were doing it anyway. Ding ding the bell. Said Millie, what the frick? What's that got to do with a robot cat? I literally started out like, I'm going to write a book about a cat that had 4 kittens and one was a robot. And then it just ended up going through what I would do on a normal school day. So that... See, that was worse than I remembered. I thought it was literally about a robot cat, but it wasn't. So yeah, I'm pretty confident in saying I was probably like very young when I wrote that. Oh God, I just saw this has a crack in it. So this one's probably going to break too. Love that. I still don't know what this thing is. Like, there's no instructions. Oh wait, there's some on the back. What's this thing? Hey, have it. Come on. Get down. You're not eating it. Go. No respect for her mother at all. It's very rude. Anyway, I assembled the house on top of this. I don't know why it's got that thing in the middle. So I make it on this. Well, actually, I might start with the fact that I need to stick 2 back together because they came broken. I'm on camera, so it's witnessed, bitch. Massage the icing for 1 minute to ensure a smooth consistency. Cool. I love massaging stuff that has white cream come out of it. Someone please kill me now. All right, so this next one is one of like my first big writing projects. Like, I came up with the whole like plot, characters. This was when I was like 15, I think. So I never finished this. I was handwriting it for some stupid reason. And if you can see the little tabs, maybe if they are the character chapters. So I wrote each chapter in a character's perspective. And I hand wrote this story. So I got part 1 and 2 of book 1, and I only got that far. So this has never been edited because it is handwritten and it's probably really bad. So it's also a sci-fi, which like actually 2 of my biggest things I've ever written have been sci-fi, and I don't understand why, because I don't even really read sci-fi. I don't like sci-fi all that much. I don't know anything about space. Like, seriously, not a single thing. Like, I cannot tell you even one fact about space other than that the moon is in space. You know, I don't know why I decided to write sci-fi, but this is kind of basically a fantasy, but it's kind of sci-fi because It's basically just this story about going to a bunch of different planets, and then the story on the planet is more fantasy, but it's also sci-fi because it's different planets. So instead of going to like different parts of the world, they were going to different planets, but it was essentially like fantasy, because then it would be like a fantasy storyline on the said planet. But I never got very far with this. The plot line was that there had been this like prediction that all of these planets would explode or some shit, I don't remember. Something bad would happen to them. In the prediction or premonition, whatever the heck it was, I probably didn't even know. But yeah, in the prediction, there were a bunch of people from these different planets, and there were different races. So like one planet was elves, and one planet was werewolves, and one planet was vampires. And on each planet, there was like a teenager that was predicted to be part of the way to save the planet. It was about this person who was like, I'm gonna get all of these teenagers and I'm gonna train them. When they come together, I'm hoping we'll get this, you know, part 2 of this prediction of what they're meant to do, but I'll train them in battle and everything. And yeah, it was just basically drama with these teens. But of course the person collecting them all ended up being evil, because of course. Sorry, I feel like this is very unpleasant for you to watch me just squeezing this thing. So yeah, I am terrified to read this. I have not, oh god, I've got a whole list here. Oh god, I went into so much detail. So I've got the hero's journey. So I was going to go on the hero's journey plot line, and I wrote down every step and what was going to happen and the different try and fails. Bless 15-year-old Meredith, she was such a loser. I've got a list of characters and what race they were, and then I've got a chapter thing here. So I was writing down how many chapters each character had. So this is going to be absolutely heinous. I apologize for this. I reckon I've squeezed this enough so to do it for a minute. Lift that up, surely it won't break. There's that one. From a distance they might actually look semi-decent, but I am promising you they are not. To this next one, which is a piece that I wrote in high school. This fucker's never gonna go back together. Yeah, we had this project where we had to write a story and read it out for everybody. Saying that, I don't think anybody in the end did. Because who wants to read out their own writing? It's bad enough having it read out. And yeah, we got to like give each other critique, and I remember I was super pretentious, and I was super nice. Like I complimented works a lot, but I was like, I've written a whole essay about your writing. So funny, because like I've always been like that. Now I think back, like I've always been passionate about talking about writing and books, because I had this confidence. Like I talked to people and I spoke. And I spoke with this confidence that I never have, because I was so passionate and I wanted to give people feedback, you know, and I feel like I was really in my element there. And maybe I should have gone somewhere with that. I don't know. But anyway, I feel like I have now because I've got this. So yeah, it's always something I've had a passion about. So yeah, this was a sci-fi. So this was the other random ass sci-fi I wrote for some reason. And it's about... Actually, I'm not going to say what it's about because it's a short story. So I'll probably not have time to read the whole thing, but I will read out the start. For as long as I can remember, I've been a species of my own. I find myself surrounded by beings with different appearances completely. I often feel like a blank canvas sitting in a gallery filled with bright and brilliant paintings. How I got here, I have no idea, but they call me human. Why is that, I ask myself? Why aren't I a Yumi like the rest of them? Pretty? Or complete shit? How's it look? Fucking bad. It's meant to look like that. I'm like, this shit does not look like that.
Yeah, it does look like that. But it's not on you, it's on the design that they gave you. Looks like shit.
Thanks. Didn't ask for your opinion anyway. Oh wait, I did. Lufia. King Looper has always been reasonably kind to me, so if he calls like at the moment, I always obey. But not like I have much choice. Feeling fire under my feet, I throw the sheets I was folding into the flying washing basket and run to the balcony. I've always loved living in the palace. I find it an adventure of all sorts. Being a servant isn't the point. Sure, I'm a bird locked in a cage, but some of the chores I get taken to are ones I will never take for granted. Besides, the royal family treat me like family. You're a servant, but you think you get treated like family. I'm getting a bit of Stockholm syndrome here, bitches. Sophia, I seem to have lost the damn Sam sofa. Could you ask Permio if he's had it? Obeying with a nod, I wander back inside. The palace is modelled to mimic the Lopius space station, which is incredible beyond words. I'm not one to criticise, but the palace is far from being as cleverly designed and built as that. And to be honest, having to jump into a space pod to get to the other side of the building can be frustratingly tedious. It's always an experience to live in a glass building though, being able to see all that surrounds you. Wow, I was writing Sarah J. Maas before I even had read Sarah J. Maas. But I was not writing about massive dick, okay? That's not what I was writing about when I was... How was I when I wrote this, like 16? Don't worry, I didn't make my teacher read Face Mart to the class, okay? This isn't Ice Planet Barbarians. It's an alien romance, but there's no dick. There's no third nipples, okay? But the shape is so ugly, it looks like an oversized see-through tree. Big corridors with circle rooms rising up into the sky. I do like trees, but I've never actually seen one. Myth is that if you see a tree, you're blessed with luck. When the Yumis advanced in technology, they destroyed all nature completely. That's why the Lopius space station was built, so a secret organization can find us a new planet to migrate to, since we've almost destroyed this one and will soon have polluted the air so much we'll struggle to breathe. This is why I shouldn't have written sci-fi, or things are past my skill, because I feel, I feel like if you got rid of all the trees, you'd be really fucked pretty quickly, right? Like, it wouldn't be like, oh, we've got time. Like, I feel like that is really bad. Once I reach Prince Permio's room, I race my hands through my hair in precaution. Whenever I consider my appearance, I feel insecure. Sometimes when I'm with Permio, all I can think is how ugly I am. I mean, my hair is so plain. I always envy the girl Yumis with long body length pink hair or blue hair, whilst mine's just brown and shoulder length. It reminds me of poo. Honestly, comparing something to poo is top level writing. I press the call button and speak through the microphone at his door. It's Lufia. I'm here for King Jup, your father. I wait, no answer, so I speak again. Please, your father is quite desperate at the moment. He can't find his Sam's sofa and urgently needs it. I wait and wait and wait. Okay, that's it. I swing my leg back and forth, smashing into the steel door, causing a cringeworthy bang. Still, my hand is on the call button as I scream, I'm not going anywhere, la-di-da, Permio is a selfish antisocial pig. What do you know? I actually got a reply. What manners he has. I was reminded by the beep of the door that I've been accepted into his life. Well, not really, since he opens and then shuts the door behind him. His arms cross, revealing bulging muscles covering his arms, though his smug expression isn't one bit attractive. Shut up. Geez, I don't have a stupid Sam sofa, so buzz off. His pitch black eyes bear into me, almost the size of his head. Man, I could drown in those deep dark eyes, like the ocean and the sky mixed together to create heaven. Up and down his long pointy ears twitch, and I notice the new gold earrings bearing his left one. It dangles down on a golden chain, twinkling endlessly on the end in a crimson moon. When did you get the earring? I point in hopes he won't slam the door in my face. It looks nice. I pierced it just then. What? Why didn't you get one of the servants to pierce it? Oh, knock it off. His long, limpy 7 fingers surf through his short, spiky blue hair and make me notice he's had a haircut. And a haircut. What's the occasion? A party? Can I come? I've always wanted to be a part of his life, but he always sneaks away into his room, shutting the door on my part of his life completely. It's funny how he's right in front of me, but so out of reach. I swear there's an invisible wall between us, which I can never seem to break, no matter what I do. No party, no nothing. Dad Sam's sofa isn't here, so shoo. His already large eyes widen as he flicks his hands for me to shoo. Alright. So you don't know where it could be? No! And with that, the door is in my face. Before I leave, I poke my tongue out as a security camera. As I make my way back to King Jupa, I can't help but wonder what Permio is up to. He's the only member of the royal family who isn't kind to me, and I find him a mystery. I swear he had the same sofa, but even then, I find everything about life a mystery. Why am I human? Why, when everyone else on this planet are Yumis? They have large black eyes, pink and blue hair, 5 fingers and 2 thumbs, nostrils and no noses, spiky sharp teeth, large pointy ears and light green skin. I'm nothing like them, but they treat me like an equal. It's like a secret language, something we all see, but something we don't say. Someone better give me answers. I'm afraid there's another language only Yumis know and they speak of me. So I think I'm going to end it there. Yeah, that was my project for my year 10 creative writing course. And I actually won the award for creative writing that year. Okay, I need to put them all together now. In this little thingy-majiggy-majiggy. That doesn't even fit. Maybe it does. Barely. So bad. Like, I feel like this isn't even gonna work. Like, it can look like shit, but at least actually be able to just, like, stand up. There is no way this is gonna stay. Like, okay, well, let's move on to the next piece of writing. I've basically given up on this because I don't have any icing left, and it's just not gonna stick because it's, you know, broken. So I'm hoping I can at least get it to look nice on one of the sides. And these last two things I'm going to read out are 2 poems. I'll start with the one that was not the one that got picked for the yearbook, so I assume this was my one that wasn't as good. So it's number 6 in this book. So it's called Morning in the City. The citrus-scented woman carries new shoes, similar to the pair she was wearing. The businessman talks on his mobile, voice lost behind car horns. The girl licks a rainbow lollipop, waiting by the Collins Street tram stop. This, whilst the elderly man leans against the clothes shop, holes in knitted beanie revealing curls of grey hair, and his hands tremor in the shape of a cup. The citrus-scented woman looks to the old man's feet, bare and pale on the concrete. The businessman stops mid-sentence, averts his gaze, and strides on. The girl continues to lick the lollipop, her eyes intent on his hands that tremble. This, whilst the elderly man looks to his rusted can, 3 gold coins, so small inside all that space. So this one's the one that got in the yearbook, and it's called A Visit to the Stockyards. Rotting wood positioned in separate squares, bent nails hanging by rust, gum leaves to barbed wire's edge, built by my grandfather and uncle, whose steps were followed by kelpies. Overalls clung to my uncle's skin as if it had finally rained. I remember huddled sheep, stained in smoky dirt. The distant house outlooks the stockyards, as it has for 40 years. I chased sheep through parched grass, hay bale string tied to my waist like a tail. I remember my grandfather's tattered akubra, sitting, tilted on the fence. Yeah, that is going to do it for this video for Vlogmas. So I'm going to try and get some nice shots of this gingerbread house. I don't think I'm going to try and move it because I'm scared it's going to fall apart before I can get some nice footage of it. And, you know, obviously there is no roof on the other side, so this is absolute shit. Please do not expect a good quality gingerbread house because That's not what I've ended up doing, but it was still fun. Will I make another one? Probably not. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of my completely heinous writing. What was something you enjoyed? And talk to me about writing. Do you like writing? Is it something you did in the past? Do you still have writing you did when you were younger? Do you ever go back and read it? Is it completely heinous like mine? Let me know in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed this fun little video why I built my very first ever gingerbread house. And hopefully it tastes nice. I mean, we've got these pieces here that didn't even make it to eat. So we'll see how they go. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you. Rude phone interrupting my outro. Yeah, but hopefully I'll see you in tomorrow's Vlogmas video. But until next time, bye.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas.